missed that. Hey!
Sorry about that. Hey guys, Scott from Aristocob.com here.
And Seth from TheSwingingPastor.com.
Together, the three of us, we're Markwood Men's Breakfast Club, and welcome to our first ever live cast. And into the second introduction of the first ever live cast.
Yeah, it's exciting to be here, to be doing this. It's also nerve-wracking, but we hope that you guys enjoy. And where are we?
Well, you know, if nothing else, I figure that this is a recording. So if the live cast doesn't work, don't sweat it, because you'll be able to watch it once that gets posted as a live video. So here we are in St. Charles, Illinois, just outside of Chicago.
Practically Chicago.
And can I explain one thing? We're inside of a large tent. Right behind the camera is a flapping tent wall. Flying overhead is a number of airplanes that are flying into and out of O'Hare. We're right along a fairly major road, so we apologize major road for noises. In the background, of course, we have a lot of activity going on. We are in the smoking tent just outside of the main show floor, which is, what do they call that? The Mega
Center.
The Mega Center. So we thought we'd get this started by just telling you a little bit about how we got here. And so Boy had to work on Thursday, so Thursday at 3 o'clock-ish, I picked him up and we got on the road.
No, it was sooner than that. 12:30, I was able to sneak out a little bit early.
Right. The plan was 3 o'clock. The plan was 3 o'clock. And because he was able to leave a little bit early, we were able to add a little stop along the way. So the plan was originally to drive to Dayton, stay at my mother-in-law's house, arriving there, I don't know, we figured it'd be late anyway.
Yeah.
And then to leave first thing in the morning. But it turned out we were able to stop in Cincinnati and meet up with Brother Boontar, Sister Skipsy, their chillins, and Burleyman40, and got to hang out in Newport, right on the Ohio River, and went to a place called
We went to Tom and
Chee
for dinner.
What is Tom and Chee, Boy?
Tom and Chee is a grilled cheese everything restaurant. They have all sorts of grilled cheese sandwiches.
You're entitled to your opinion.
The sandwiches.
Hold on. There seems to be some unnecessary YouTube drama going on behind us, as often happens when you get on the air on YouTube. We got to be careful within the pipe community not to have too much drama.
Yeah, too much.
In the world, it is not the most popular.
You know, they're arguing about lane 1Q, and I just might get in on this.
Yeah.
All right, that's it. You anti-1Q.
I'm in on this.
There's nothing in it that's worth a damn. You know what you're doing? What? Unnecessary
YouTube drama.
Unnecessary drama. I'm sorry.
Okay, mostly unplanned.
You want to try to avoid as much unnecessary YouTube drama as you can. Yeah.
Taking a bow over there.
Oh, man. Awesome.
So anyway, we ended up stopping in Cincinnati at this place called Tom and Chee, which is tomato and grilled cheese. So it was everything grilled cheese that you could imagine, and tomato soup.
Yeah, one of the sandwiches we had was a Italian. It had pepperoni, ham, cheese, and salt and vinegar potato chips.
Mm.
And they have bowls of soup you can get, or they have dipper bowls, which is just a very, very small soup bowl with tomato
Perfect
soup.
amount.
It's the size of the bowl was perfect, the depth, and the soup was delicious. It was just awesome.
We each ordered
dessert,
a different sandwich,
yeah.
and we shared half of each. So what the other one we had was the Armageddon.
Yeah.
And Geta is kind of a Cincinnati classic. It's a meat or meat byproduct. It's basically some parts left over from the pork processing and mixed in with oats, and you end up with this loaf that they slice very thin and they pan fry till it gets a little bit crisp. So very, very thin, a quarter-inch thick in there along with the cheese, multiple cheeses. It was fantastic.
Yeah. It had some cherry peppers, so it was that vinegar, but little spicy. It was so good. It was so good. And then for dessert, we had a donut grilled cheese, the donut grilled cheese was, we made the mistake. You know, one of Dad's philosophies is always go vanilla. So when you're going for ice cream, try vanilla. The first time. Or pizza, get pepperoni, because if they can't get vanilla right, you don't need to bother with anything else.
So at a grilled cheese place, you go in, you order the classic, right? And whatever they call the classic, that's what you try. And if they get that right, you then get adventurous. But we were trusting that this place has multiple locations. They have to do the classic right.
Yeah.
The donut sandwich, they took a donut, a glazed donut, sliced it in half, flipped it over, and so the inside becomes the outside, and they grill that so that the outside air of it gets crisp. Inside of this, and they get dessert donut. Inside of this, there was cheese, and it had, in our case, chocolate ganache and crisp little bits of bacon.
Yeah, it said bacon, so I had to try it.
Bacon.
It was a mistake that the chocolate was not the best. And it's weird what happens when you cut a donut in half, flip it upside down, and then grill it. The grilled sides become really, really grilled. I mean, I've had a hamburger with donuts before, and so I was expecting something similar to that. But in the grilling process, it becomes hard and kind of crunchy.
Yeah.
Which is such a weird texture for a donut that really threw me for a loop.
But a good texture for what it was accomplishing. So, anyway, much more important than that, we got to hang out with Burleyman40, Boontar and his family, of course, Skipsy. Don't forget Skipsy. Right. And had a great time. Thank you guys for coming out for that. Then we ended up going up to Dayton, and by the time we got to Dayton, it was midnight. Mother-in-law stayed up and checked in on us, and then first thing in the morning, 6 a.m., we were on the road.
Yeah.
And I have to tell you, 32 years of marriage, that has to be the very best visit to my mother-in-law's house ever.
Yeah.
I find that funny, but true. So anyway, we drove up yesterday then. Yeah. Drove up yesterday, and something interesting happened. As we were leaving Cincinnati, we got a Voxer message from Boontar saying, I just heard from dispatch, and they told me some of the runs that I could possibly take tomorrow.
He's a
trucker.
Yeah.
And he says, and one of them would take me to Chicago. Now, unfortunately, the amount of time I've had on the road this week, I only have enough time.
Here? Absolutely.
Say hi.
I only have enough time to drive up, and then I have to take a 10-hour break. Isn't that awful?
Yeah.
So
terrible.
So Boontar met up with us in Chicago. And
he wasn't going to be able to make it.
Not at all. And we went to Gino's East, which is one of my favorite Chicago-style pizza. What did you think? You've never had pizza in Chicago, right?
Good. Yeah, it's my first time in Chicago, and it was. I tell you, I'm looking forward to having it a couple more times before we leave tomorrow.
I think we're doing that. We're going there tonight, aren't we?
For dinner tonight, and maybe lunch tomorrow, and maybe get one for the road. It's some good stuff. Good deep dish. I've been exposed to Chicago-style pizza through Pizzeria Uno's. It's pretty good. Hey.
So this is where the real party is.
It absolutely is.
That right. Hey, Amber.
Hello, how are you guys?
We're doing
good.
Doing well.
Say
I
hi.
have a question for you while I have you here.
Okay.
You know, all of the newbies on YouTube, we see your name and we go, oh, it's Ag's mom. But it's not Ag's mom.
Ag's
What?
mom.
Can you explain your name to us?
It's AGS Mom.
What does that stand for?
It's actually my daughter's initials.
Oh, her name isn't Ag's.
No, it's not Ags. Her name is Autumn. So I just took her
That makes so
initials
much
and
more
made
sense.
See,
It does
I'm
make a
her
lot more
mom,
sense.
And then somehow or another, someone has the AGS Mom, apparently.
Oh.
So that's why I had to add the one.
Gotcha.
So
all right.
yes, it's not Ags.
So
Mom.
even though you were the second, you're the first.
I am the first. I am the
Nice.
original.
Yeah.
Whether anyone wants to argue that or not, I am
They
the
don't.
original.
Yeah, we're not. No.
Don't hurt
not
us.
better. Mom comes out here now. Wait a minute.
Well, we're excited to see you here today and last night. You guys
Yes.
came in a little
We
bit
snuck
later
in.
than most of us.
Surprise. Surprise everybody.
Yes, we kept it a secret. We've been planning it for a couple months and
Oh.
got our room in March, and then I had to keep it quiet.
Did you expect to see
Was that the hardest
Boontar
part?
here?
I was not expecting Boontar here. That was a very big surprise.
Now, hey, nothing against Boontar.
No, not at all. It's a happy surprise.
He can be a small surprise as well.
Because he's the one that'll tell you he's coming in. He's not.
Yeah, you're right. He's a liar.
So that's why we were kind of playing that game.
Oh, we
We
established.
were going to be here. All right, quit setting these up now, guys.
All right, you got it.
You guys have fun.
Thank
See
you.
you
Thank
later.
you.
Bye, guys.
Now, I should mention now, I'm struggling a little bit with the tobacco that's in my pipe, and what I'm smoking right here is a straight country gentleman. And one of the things we're going to talk about is the tobacco that I have sitting in front of me here in these Ziploc baggies. These are brand new, 4 brand new tobaccos that have been launched under the Missouri Meerschaum name. So we're currently smoking the aromatic, which is referred to as the Missouri Meerschaum Great Dane. And we were told by the blender, and we'll talk about him in a little bit, that this one we probably would want to open up and let air out a little bit because it tends to be a little bit moist, as many aromatics are. So we opened it up here, and it had 10 minutes to dry out. So I've lit this thing 17 times now.
Well, let's speed up a little bit and get to kind of that part. So we arrived. We had some pizza, delicious pizza that we'll have again for sure. And came to the show. The
show wasn't open yet.
It wasn't open, but the tent was. There's this big tent that we're in right now, smoker's tent. And
open got to 24 hours a day through the duration of the show.
Got to see some friendly faces that several of which you have already seen, and
they're friendlier than when they're on camera.
That's right. Then and meet a lot of other people, really cool people here, and got to talk with the blender of this tobacco. And then last night we had dinner here, thrown by Sutliff, and it was a catered affair with
and we were worried about that. When you hear that dinner's going to be free, just show up and it's free, that usually means you're going to get 2 chicken wings in you or something.
Yeah.
And boy, they put out a spread. There was roast beef, there was chicken, there was fish, there was desserts. I don't know how many you had, but I had a chocolate eclair and
peanut butter cheesecake.
It was all good. More drama, more needless drama.
More pipe tobacco.
You've had enough. No more shall you get.
I want more.
I don't care.
I want more pipe tobacco. I want more pipe tobacco.
It's not all about you. Now you listen to me.
I want more pipe tobacco.
Just because you don't want it doesn't mean that you're going to get it.
I want it.
Just sit down and eat your sugar.
Not sure how well planned that one was. The not ready for primetime players, ladies and gentlemen.
You need to ask Sutliff for some more, because every time we turn around, Sutliff is giving away some tobacco, which we are very grateful for.
We are grateful
Always
for it.
Happy for free stuff. So this dinner was delicious. It was amazing and
plentiful.
Oh yeah, and there was tobacco at the table. Thank you, Sutliff.
Yeah, every single place setting had two tins of tobacco, and all around the room people were getting different tins, which was kind of fun because there was some swapping going on afterwards.
And what's amazing is all of this happened before we paid any fee, before we paid any entry fee. Mm-hmm. So the show itself is $15, but just for being here, we had all of that.
Anybody could have walked in off the street like Boontar did, not pay $15 and get himself some free tobacco and a dinner.
Some dinner, and never paid for the entry fee into the actual show. So that's amazing. So we did that last night, then we hung out.
But then they had what I found really interesting last night. 2 things. One of the gentlemen who's a member of the organization that puts this on, a pipe collectors organization here in Chicago, did a...
Hey, Trav, Spirit 7.
Hey, Tim. What did they call that? It was pipe smoking in the movies. Mm-hmm. And it was a 45-minute presentation of bits of film with pipe smoking where pipe smoking played not necessarily a major role in the movie, but at least in the character. Major role. And so there was, and now I'm going blank on the names of the movies.
Wonderful Life, Miracle on 34th Street, 1st Street.
One of the streets.
Yeah, one of the streets. They had some Citizen Kane.
Yeah. A
lot of old movies.
Basil Rathbone was in it, obviously, in a lot of
There's one, that John Wayne movie. Yeah, so 3 Sherlock Holmes movies where smoking and tobacco played a significant role.
Yeah, Sherlock Holmes, cool. Basil Rathbone goes into a pipe shop where a lady's talking to him about some of the customers that have come in and purchased. Oh, yes, he likes Latakia. And going into all these details
actually
on pipe
describes
tobacco.
Latakia,
really cool.
Latakia and Perique. And that really cool. And after that, they did a tower crawl where some of the vendors and sellers that maybe didn't have a booth or are having a booth, they opened up their room and they had tobacco, they had pipes, mostly pipes, all over their beds, all over their countertops in their hotel room. And the hotel itself is a 16-story tower. And so we went up and got to see a couple of these vendors and kind of like a pre-show show. A lot of them had discounts. So that was interesting. That's cool. Get to kind of have these intimate moments with the pipes.
And then from there we came back out to the tent, and they had an area set back behind me here. Most of the tent is filled up with tables and chairs. There is a little living room area with some sofas and upholstered chairs. But then there's an area over here where they have it set up for presentation, and they had a panel of folks from pipesmagazine.com. And if you're not familiar with that website, it is an online magazine. So you worry about, I'm not subscribed to that. Yes, you are. Go there, pipesmagazine.com. And the panel was made up of their staff. Now it was hosted or moderated, I guess the way you'd say it, by Kevin Godby. How do you pronounce his name? He's the editor of the Pipes Magazine website. You also had on that panel Steve Morissette, who was there. He writes for the magazine and talks about fashion.
They all work at the magazine.
Well, they're contributors to the magazine, right? Russ Ouellette, who made the tobaccos that we were smoking here, the Missouri Meerschaum and several others. He was on the panel to talk about tobacco, obviously. There was a sociologist, Dr. What is his name?
I don't remember. He didn't talk much either.
Yeah, I'm kind of going blank. So anyway, the panel was made up of I have a note. Fred Brown. Fred Brown is the actual journalist that's on staff. He used to write for newspapers. And anyway, I'll get them all introduced to you. Brian Levine, who's the host of the Pipes Magazine radio show. And of course, they took some questions from the audience, but most of it was Kevin kind of led and moderated the thing. And he had questions that he threw out that the whole panel answered. My favorite part was actually the end, when he did Fast Five, and he asked a question that they were then to speed through and give their answer. And one of them was, what's your favorite pipe tobacco?
Questions, yeah.
What's your favorite pipe tobacco? And so all of them answered that question, including Kevin.
Yeah.
Probably the most interesting one to me was they asked him the most memorable moment, or one of the most memorable moment, but also when did pipe tobacco
what are these
smoking
two
a pipe
fools doing?
click?
What are they doing? Get them out of here. This is a Briar Pipe show. Get out of here.
Oh, shut up. Stop yelling at those nice gentlemen. I'm sure they're lovely.
Schizophrenic gentleman behind us.
What are
you doing?
It's a country gentleman, by the way, not a general.
Tom, Thee Diabeticman on YouTube. You should check him out, or don't.
Known for his one hit, Sir Walter Raleigh in a cob. He is wearing a Sir Walter Raleigh belt buckle, which I'm not sure what the significance of that is. Anyway.
No. He's sold out.
Sorry, guys. We had nothing to do with this.
No.
Anyway, but the question had to do with, that memorable moment in their life that kind of made them connect with pipe smoking. And Russ said that he decided that he was going to smoke a pipe. So he went out and bought, this is I think he said the early 70s, he went out and bought The Pipe, the Venturi pipe that's plastic. And inside of that plastic bowl there's a little bit of carbon, but it's generally known as an awful smoking pipe. And he also purchased the worst tobacco he could possibly buy. And even though his father was a pipe smoker, he hid that from his dad because he didn't want his dad to know that he was smoking. Well, his dad stumbled across the stuff and called him into his room and said, basically,
what is this, son?
What is this? And said to him, look, if you're going to smoke a pipe, you're going to do it right. Took him down to his tobacconist, introduced him to the tobacconist who walked him through how to pack and light your pipe, bought him a new pipe that was a decent pipe, and got him some tobacco that wasn't going to burn his tongue. What a neat introduction to pipe smoking, and you could tell You know, I don't know if his father's still living or not, but it was definitely a very meaningful, and what a great way to launch a guy into pipe smoking.
Yeah.
So that was a fun. It was far more interesting than when I sat down what I expected might happen.
Yeah.
You know, I thought it was going to devolve into just a Q&A with most of the audience not knowing what to cue. So
yeah,
very, very good.
So other highlights so far this morning, we had our Markwood Men's Breakfast Club meeting.
Breakfast.
Breakfast, yeah. Well, I had a burger, but you know,
I had a like it was basically an omelet sandwich.
I saw that.
It was really good. It was really good. It was on toasted sourdough bread, but inside was basically a bacon and spinach and cheese omelet. It was really good.
Interesting. And so we got to hang out with a bunch of cool people. Went to local IHOP. It's always fun. It was fun to have a breakfast club in person, you know, and hopefully those of you that aren't here can be
Somewhere.
sometime, and we can join you for breakfast. And then we went into the show itself. It is huge. It is massive. I absolutely believe the statistics that it's the largest pipe show in the world.
Yeah.
It's insane, and I'm sure that we'll have video and pictures up later. I'm sure you can find those all over.
It's everything from individuals with their collection.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Very eclectic.
Everything from a guy who smoked all his life and he's just going to sell out of his pipes to people that have thousands and thousands of dollars invested just in Dunhills, and they're here to show it off. All pipe carvers like you would not imagine showing off their wares. With some folks with a table with 6 pipes in front of them, and others with walls of pipes.
Yeah.
And then all the pipe tobacco blenders are there and giving away lots of samples, which I think, again, brings us back to this. We should talk about this.
Yeah, let's do that. So Missouri Meerschaum has just released, for the first time today, first time ever, they are releasing 4 pipe tobaccos.
Well,
now
it's actually, they're not releasing it. It's Pipes and Cigars and their blender, Russ Ouellette, designed these tobaccos, and he designed them, and why they got connected with Missouri Meerschaum is he wanted to make tobaccos that were designed to be smoked in a corn cob.
But it is under the Missouri Meerschaum name.
Yes, of course. Yeah. They cross-marketed the I think it's a brilliant idea, but it isn't Missouri Meerschaum launching the product. It would be Pipes and Cigars launching the product under their name.
Right.
Sorry. Continue.
Pipe Nutter loves the tie.
Oh, thank you. It's I bought this for freehand Friday, but I will work today as well.
Yeah. So
Thank you, Glenn.
I had an opportunity to talk to Russ last night while we were just hanging out, and he was telling me a little bit about the tobaccos and what makes them special.
Because when he said, I designed these or I blend these for corn cobs, we're like,
right, okay.
Right.
So I asked him, what do you mean it's for corn cob? He said all 4 of the blends have a lower sweetness level. The tobacco that they use is less sweet intentionally because smoking in a cob raises the sweetness level. And so they're designed specifically for cob smoking. He said in a briar, they're not as good. Yeah. Because you don't get the same sweetness that you would with many other tobaccos out there because it's designed specifically for a cob.
So Boy took some notes on his phone. I think you should pull those up.
Yeah.
Can you?
Yeah.
Without dropping. We're also using his phone as our internet connection here.
Because
we picked the spot on the tent that is furthest away from any Wi-Fi connection.
So the other thing specifically that he was talking about is Great Dane. Great Dane is what we're smoking right now. It is their aromatic blend. And he said specifically this one has less propylene glycol in it, so it's going to be less wet
than most aromatics.
Most aromatics. Because we asked him about that. What makes an aromatic wet? Why do we always have to leave it open for a little while to let it dry out? And he said it's the propylene glycol they put in there, and the propylene glycol is actually what takes the flavor into the tobacco. So it's the flavor delivery system for the casing.
Like a catalyst that makes it work.
That's right. And so he said that they require the propylene glycol, but the propylene glycol is what is going to cause that wetness, that dampness. it does burn off, but if your tobacco's wet, when you put it in your pipe and try to smoke it, it creates a higher temperature and it causes burning and tongue bite. So he said their aromatic is actually has less propylene glycol, in part because the propylene glycol is what makes is one of the things that adds sweetness, and they're trying to make their tobacco less sweet. So overall, specifically, it's designed for a little higher. Specifically, it's just
a little higher.
Designed. There you go. Designed for
dust pipe.
The cob. So this is what they said about their 4 blends.
All of them named after various Missouri Meerschaum corn cobs.
Great Dane is their aromatic with cherry, caramel, and vanilla undertones. American Patriot.
Hold on.
Yeah.
And the cherry, and that's what we're smoking right now. I was concerned about that. He said it's designed as more of a maraschino. No, not maraschino. More of a Bing cherry. Not that real strong, sweet cherry that you get from your cherry aromatics. And I'm not even picking up cherry from that, so I'm pleased by that.
That's right. The American Patriot is an English with Latakia and bourbon.
Whoa! Just look at that grain!
No, the grain's been removed from that, John. That's just the cob.
Country Gentleman is their Virginia with 4 types of Virginia tobacco and a small amount of Perique and dark-fired Kentucky. And then Missouri Pride, their last one, is Burley matured under pressure with no added top dressing. It's sweetened by Virginias, has a really high-quality natural tobacco flavor. So it doesn't have extra stuff added in.
Yeah.
I think what we're going to do is we'll probably be trying these out over the next couple of weeks, and we'll give you our feedback because we love to smoke our cobs and love a good cob tobacco.
Yeah. So that's an exciting idea, and the fact that he's been smoking these tobaccos for about a year now, for over 6 months. He's had Morgan from Missouri Meerschaum smoking them. Well, tell us. Hi, how are you doing?
I'm doing quite well, and I appreciate you asking.
How did you find the show today?
It's just down the street from where I live.
Oh.
Yeah. Very interesting, isn't it? You guys have a great time.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Oh. We need to find a way to ruin something they're trying to do.
You know, we debated what would we do, how do we do this video, and we thought, you know, so many videos that do get posted are people walking around with their camera saying, hey, say hi, Steve, and Steve says hi, and, you know, Steve's distracted. He didn't want to be involved in the video, so we thought, let's just film a normal Markwood Men's Breakfast Club episode and let happen what happens. We didn't know this was going to happen.
No, that's all right. What else?
I think that kind of wraps up what I wanted to talk about. I mean, just in general, though, I'm enjoying this show.
Yeah.
This is fun. And, you know, we kind of don't fall into the normal category of visitors here because, you know, you do have those people that are obsessed about acquiring pipes. So they're here shopping, maybe even trading pipes. You got folks, on the other hand, that are all about tobacco, and they're buying and selling and trading tobacco. We're here because we like pipe smokers.
Yeah.
And smoking our pipes. So, you know, I did pick up some new tobaccos here I'm excited about, but I'll probably end up picking one of these that I like, and that'll be the one I smoke, as opposed to acquiring lots and lots of tobacco. And so there's something for everyone here, I guess is what I'm saying. You get a chance to come to the show, or any of them for that matter. Yeah,
there absolutely is. And I like this show in particular. I think it's got a really good smoking space, a really good kind of hangout atmosphere, and that makes it nice because we traveled all the way to Chicago. I'll walk the show once, but I'm not going to buy anything, probably, because I don't really have a smoking budget. And so...
I don't have one either, which means I'll probably buy something.
Right, I know. But I have really enjoyed getting to hang out with everyone.
Is this anyone's tamper? We found this on the ground.
It's really cool. If you know whose tamper this is, please go to Aristocob.com. Go to the contact section, and he will return this to you. A pipe. All right? Free of charge.
Can you tell us about the Mark Twain corncob pipe, which we don't have yet? We don't have yet. I've been smoking one since my birthday last July. I was given 2 of them, and I hadn't been able to talk about it. We walk in the tent last night, and there's Phil Morgan smoking his, and I've been avoiding showing mine in public. Tell us about the Mark Twain.
The Mark Twain is my idea. Which camera am I looking at? That one?
I have to admit,
that one.
When we got together in Nashville, Tom said to me, you know what I'd really like in a corncob pipe? He's right. He told us that.
I want a double tobacco.
No, which corncob pipe is the #1 tobacco in the world now, which would be Granger tobacco. There's really no need to smoke anything else.
And again, there is nothing. There's nothing quite like Granger.
It is formulated for a cob. Get you some today.
It causes brain damage, and you know it.
So get yourself a cob on Aristocob.com and get yourself a big old bowl of Granger.
Mrs. Aristocob says hi, Tom.
Hi, Mrs. Aristocob.
Is she out there watching
She's
this?
watching live.
Oh my gosh! Hey, what I said about your mother, seriously, it was the best visit ever. We should do it again, like Sunday night.
Yeah.
Are you insulting people over
Only his mother-in-law.
It's a Dublin, and it's awesome. So you can put flakes in your cob. Solani aged burley flake, no longer do you have to crumble it. No longer do you have to struggle to get the delicious Solani aged burley flavor out of your cob.
Why would
you
a
can
Dublin
just fold and stuff?
Why would the shape matter?
The shape matters because of the way that the bowl is shaped, so it V's down. Just fold and stuff without the worry that possibly stuffing will plug the hole of your pipe. Basically, what I'm saying is the Mark Twain idea, which was mine, will make Missouri Meerschaum millions because you will
It'll
all
finally
buy
put
one.
them on the map.
It will finally put them on the map. I put Missouri, where I don't even know where it is, on the map.
somewhere on the map.
The whole of Missouri, all of it.
But no, really, we found a tamper. Found it on the ground. Aristocob.com. When they get the Mark Twain, buy 6 of them. And they'll send you this tamper.
It doesn't look anything like a tamper. What
Yeah.
you talking about?
That's a tamper.
Yeah.
That's how you do a tamper.
I lost my Aristocob tamper. I lost it.
Sure, take it. Take it.
You just
Aristocob.com.
started. Danger.
Are you ever going to get a website?
We're looking
He
at
needs
it.
one.
We're looking into it.
You really should.
It's a great idea.
I don't want to
Great
take your
idea.
tamper.
I was going for another one, Tom. I have more.
Well,
You know, it's devolved into what I was hoping it wouldn't be, right?
Yeah, that's right.
That's not true. It's great to have her. But we are going to wrap this up. Thank you, folks. Thank you for tuning in, giving us your time. For those of you who are watching this delayed, you still missed a great time.
we discovered that you can scroll back in time, things that you may have missed, and
Even
then
during this live show.
that's right, during live. So if you jumped in halfway, go ahead and scroll back, and you should be able to see the whole thing. And if you have missed it completely, that's cool. You are not hearing this. I'm going to be going back and editing this, and this will go onto our channel as a normal video, so that we can have it in the archives.
We'll probably film a little bit more here while we're here. Maybe we'll put out some kind of compilation video. But this is it for the live stream. Again, thanks for watching, and
Enjoy your Saturday.
Aristocob.com.
Bye, guys.